Fucking dwarf?
Perhaps. Depends where you go in Raxis. But for now, it is another session of Rescue at Raxis. Last time, the party got to Raxis. Last time, Cornelius realized why they recognize him, even vaguely. And much fun was had. Toys were required for the owlbear. And in general, things were looking okay. We left off with the party having made the nighttime arrangements at a nice little inn. They've sort of splintered away to do their own various things, and we got to some of them. Zarzul is still currently in the company of a bunch of kobold miners, as he realizes that they are not paying for as many of the drinks as he is. Cornelius is sulking. Wolfgang is bored. Siegfried is still... Oh, well, he would have actually gotten to the inn by this point. Do any of you remember what the inn was called?
Completely blew off on my mind. I don't think anyone remembers it.
Yep, seems so. What a shame.
I had to restart Discord.
Well, quickly, do you know what the inn is called that you guys are staying at?
Nope.
You all die today. But it is still late night, and we join the scene with Castalia. What are you up to?
Well, let's see. At first I was babysitting the owlbear, but then the owlbear was taken.
Oh, hang on, there is one more important thing we have to do. There we go. Continue.
Well, approximately what time is it?
It's definitely dark. There's no clocks around the place, they're very cumbersome things. But it's definitely a point after dinner. Possibly getting towards the time when that charming fellow said he might arrive.
Then I'm going to meet with him, because I said I would. And I have information to pry, information to give, and hopefully other people will come join us.
However, the one he meets first is in fact Siegfried. After you've made the turning and started heading towards the inn, you do see, although, you're not intimately familiar with him or anything, you saw him once in the same day. But helmet is off, slightly pointed ears on display, and flowing brown locks. Ah, yes, you're the one with the tiefling. Little merry band.
Yes.
Of traders, and he is smiling broadly at this.
I'm looking looking very sorry for myself.
I also remembered where I've... sorry. I also realized why you lot seem familiar. Well, a couple of you.
Oh dear.
So, did you write any of it yourself? Do you have a part in the scripts?
I shake my head and start heading towards the bar.
He looks a little dejected, but he still follows on. And if you bother to look back, actually give me a perception check. Because your head is quite low, your senses are quite dulled. I'm being brought to task, yeah. As you do give a little glance back because you've been looking behind you every couple of feet anyway. And you see that there is a cat with him, but it doesn't have fur, it is just covered in leaves and foliage. It's like someone carved a hedgerow into a cat shape and it's just walking with him.
Great, more creatures that want to eat me.
Eventually, once you stop moving. That's about all a cat needs. He enters. He asks at the desk. And Castalia, while you are coming down, you are intercepted by one of the staff who... This one, halfling, looks a lot like the guy who actually took your cart into the stables, but a little more on the ball. You can tell it because his eyes are looking in the same directions. Not at your face. Not even close there. You're Miss Castalia, yes?
Indeed. How may I help you?
There's a gentleman who is calling for you at the bar.
Ah, of course.
He'll
I'm
be
on
in the
my way
bottom
there.
right corner with a table for two.
For two. All right.
Fair enough. And he sort of... His little... his rotund, broad halfling body sort of remains there in the hallway. Just continues to look up at you.
I give him a silver piece.
There's a big grin. Cheers, ma'am. And he scatters off for his next job. And as you come down, it is a bustle. It is a busy place. There's a lot of various age groups, a lot of various employments as well. You do see people who are just in the simple cloth, who look like they've been tilling ground. There are people who are easily identified as fishermen once someone walks past and wafts some of their breeze along you. And then there's a couple of armored gentlemen. There's some who look as sort of rough and rugged as the mercenaries you saw outside the camp, or outside in the refugee camp. And in the back corner, a simple little table, is Tall Green Fallowinter and the cat, which is currently laying itself on the table.
Oh. Well, all right. I give a weak wave and slowly make my way over to the table.
Yeah, slight nod of the head. Waiting for you to approach before pushing your chair out from underneath the table with his foot, so you can sit down on it.
I gladly take the seat.
So, Miss Talia. Or can I call you Castalia?
Castalia, please.
That's fine. You can call me Robert.
Very well, Robert. How may I help you?
Well, there's a few bits and pieces I need to go over, along with my friend here. But, would you like a drink, something to eat first?
Just some water is fine. And by your friend, I'm assuming I make a motion to the cat.
Oh, yes. This is Argul. Normally, normally he's about 7.5 feet tall, but we decided, it's a busy place. He better lay low.
Ah, I see.
As the cat turns his head to look at you and says, Aye, well, I don't like scraping my head against the roof. Plus, I will step on the wee bairns.
Understandable.
So, I'm a bit of a third wheel here, but I've got important things to ask about.
Oh, I understand completely.
I've got to say though, when he talked about you, I didn't expect someone so as the cat just looks you over for a moment, verdant. Have you always had a bit of a leafy patch or two?
No, I have not. I've had it for a while, but it has not always been with me.
And the wet weather treatment as well?
With same source. I bring up Sodden Lash.
The cat rises up, paws itself over the table to get a good look at it. If you don't mind, I'd like to get a little look at this. I'll just be on the floor here with it. Is that fine with you?
Certainly.
There you go. You can talk away with this one. Good luck there, Robbie. Takes in his teeth, hops on down. Yeah, he's very nature focused.
I
No.
somewhat gathered by the leaves.
He did say that with a smile, though. But yes, there's been a bit of a problem with that as well here. So, first of all, I shouldn't be so rude, so I'll give you the first question.
I am looking for someone. And I'm wondering if they might have passed through Raxis. I'm not sure how long ago, but I would certainly be interested in if maybe recently you'd seen a water tensei.
What?
A water gensei.
Jinsei. Is that some kind of... No, it wouldn't be Elvish. I've never heard of that as a person, yes?
Yes. Janase. Sorry, mispronounced.
Yeah, it's not your pronunciation that gets him. Do you know any characteristics? Is something I'd recognize her about?
Mm. She would have held, kind of like I have with the dripping water. Looks like they just finished a bath. Someone very attuned to water element.
Not through the city gates, no. I can't account for the rest of the area, but I would have noticed something like that at least. We've been doing the checkpoint for a while, and we do keep notes of the distinguishing features, and I'm pretty sure there would have been some chatter about someone who was wet and wild. Genasi, though.
And if not her, could I branch to a different question, or?
If it's still on the same topic, sure.
It is. How about the name Al-Hazi Madores?
He starts scratching at his beard for a moment. Let's see now. Rotund chap.
Yes.
It's more than about half a year, I'd say. Actually, we were just setting up the mandatory. Well, I mean, I was assigned to it. We already had it going, but I remember him. Yeah, he just came into the city for 2 days, then left by the west gate.
Was there anyone with him?
Possibly. I didn't. I was busy inspecting another wagon at the time, and I wasn't the one who checked over his possessions or his cart. I just remember noting it was an unusual name.
Do you remember who did check over his card?
Ooh, that's a fair bit to go back. On the bright side, yeah, it was one of our boys. As he gives a slight tug at the blue tabard on him. I could ask around for you. Maybe get the answer by morning.
Please, that'd be very advantageous.
Yeah, there's only a few of us who work the gates, but it has been a while. Some of us have rotated in and out. So I think it's my turn for a question.
Absolutely, you've been most helpful.
Thank you. How's Sildar?
Sildar.
Do you need an out-of-character reminder?
Yes.
Sildar Hallwinter was the guy who hired you. He was currently the acting mayor of Phandalin. He's known more to the veterans of the party. Castelli would have only met him maybe once or twice.
He seemed fine when we met, but I must admit our meetings were very brief.
Oh, all right.
The rest of well, they would probably know him. Maybe about the same. I'm not sure how often they've been.
But you were hired by him, yes?
Yes.
Yes. He gave me a brief description of you guys. Whenever you arrived, I'm here to assist you.
Ah. I guess that would explain some of the interactions at the gate then.
Yeah, I was trying to rush you guys through a bit, but I still got to be a little bit thorough, and you're lucky with your wizard friend.
I smile.
You should probably warn him about what kind of aliases he uses in the future.
I'll make a note of it.
On the bright side, he can get that black spot off by helping him track down Mr. King. Or whoever his real name is. But yes, unfortunately I don't have a whole lot for you at the moment, even after a couple of weeks that have passed. Things are very delicate here, and it's hard to get anything from the castle. Currently, that is entirely Azale territory. But I'm still here to offer assistance when I can.
Well, thank you very much.
There is some mumbling beneath the table, mainly just little bits of, this is right fascinating, this is. Until finally you feel a paw at your leg.
I look down.
So, where'd you get this?
I acquired it in Valankia.
I know of it, yeah.
There was an elf who had defended the swamp there for a while from the undead and other invading forces, but she had passed.
I'd probably met her at some point. The elves all blend together, though.
She bequeathed the weapon to our cleric, but our cleric did not wish to use it. So I took it up, and I wanted to let the elf get her final wish of making the whip bloom again.
It looks like you've been doing a good job as well.
I'm a bit proud.
Yeah, I can see a bit that it was pretty nasty for a while. Although, not as bad as it could have got. Nothing worse than nature out of control. Speaking of, that is our next topic. Here, could you pick this up? It's a bit heavy for me. As he just paws at the whip and then hops up on the table himself.
Alright, I pick back up the whip and return it to my hip.
Alright, so you've got your little royal squabbles to worry about. That's great, Robbie. But more importantly, what happened to the south?
To the what?
What are the blights doing here? You're talking about the crazy plant creatures. They're called blights.
The twig blights.
They are a corrupting, festering force. What they do is, you plant a key tree. This corrupts the land around it. It drains the life out of the soil. It kills the trees around it, turns them into blight-creating creatures. These things can spread about as fast as a wildfire would spread through a dead forest.
I'm not sure if I believe we saw one on our trip here at an inn that had been taken over.
Yeah, you probably didn't see the tree itself. That's a dangerous thing to be near. But like I said, it spreads through the forest, kills them, corrupts. So there's a bunch to the south I've got to handle. Did you notice any, they're distinctly sort of a grey tree. Thin, weedy, twig-like. You see any of them at the other place you were at?
I'm not entirely sure.
I
We were caught by surprise by a bunch of them close by, so I didn't really have much time to look around.
Yeah. I'll have to go check that one out as well again. That'll be fun. Although we better make sure of it don't get to anywhere important. You a fellow warrior of the green? Or are you just helping this whip along?
I'm helping this whip along, but I'll be happy to aid if you require it.
I've definitely got some aid that needs to be done, aye. Unfortunately, it means you lot going back down south a bit. But I definitely need some eyes on...
I'll have to discuss that with the others. They might not be as eager to help.
Well, this is the sort of thing you gotta nip in the bud. We botany joke there. But yes, there's big problems down there. We got a few treants in the kingdom. They're nice enough. They're fine wherever they are. but they do like to sleep, and at that point the blights can get right round them and into them.
Hmm.
Is there anything else nasty you've been hearing about in the wilds?
There was the group of savage elves.
Aye, those ones. Yeah, they've been a bit of a problem, but they've gotten a lot worse recently. Do you notice the fucking horns?
Yes.
You know that's growing out of their skulls?
They're not just adornments on a hat?
No, that's coming out of them.
Hmm.
Now, elves are weird. Elves are part of nature and the Fae and all. That doesn't happen though with elves.
I touch my own horns. No. Not with elves.
Aye. In fact, it's incredibly rare to hear of elves that are horny. Isn't that right, Robbie? Remember your dad? Your mother had to throw herself at him so many fucking months. Wasn't born yet. Aye, well, obviously it worked at one point. So that's a little fun little thing to worry about. Do you have any, yeah, those seeds. Said you found them on the elves' eye.
Mm-hmm.
Aye, each one of those could have become a full 3. They could have taken over most of the forests in this land pretty quick. Only upside is you need a good old blood sacrifice. Things are practically vampiric.
Mm-hmm.
But aye, those
That
elves.
seems to-
Those are a nice fun little story, ain't they, Robbie? Up north, it was another kingdom called Alchemia. The elves only come from that land. I'd say a wee bit more, but I think I'm horning in on what could have been a nice night for Robbie, eh? Do you think you're in there? As the cat backs his head up at Castalia. No, I don't. Now go away, you shitheel. He opens the window beside him and you see... fuck. Ragul, was it? Damn it, I should have written this down. But yes, he hops out the window and you see a couple of normal street cats join up with him, and then off and away into the alleys. Well, maybe I am a little bit, but I wasn't going to tell him. Let's see, so that was my question to you. You got one back. Also, Webgun, roll me a perception check for Wolfgang. Just hearing. So he doesn't get advantage. Wolfgang hears a little bit of tipping and tapping at the window in the room. As he glances round, he can see a kobold, who realizes he's being watched and quickly fucking darts.
Okay. Wolfgang's going to keep half an eye on the window.
Got a question ready? If you want, you can call over some of your friends. We can get a few more chairs.
I don't know if they're still here is the thing. They went out to do business of their own.
He slowly raises a finger and points off to the opposite side of a room where there's a gaggle of drunken kobolds. I think the one with the beady eyes and the dark hood is yours.
I look over, and if there is indeed a dark hood on, despite the fact we're indoors, then yes.
There's a lot of smoke, there's a lot of foam being sloshed around, these guys are getting rowdy. There's a couple of kobolds in the rafters now.
Though I don't know how... He'll certainly be more agreeable, but I'm not certain how perceptive he'll be.
At this point, probably not. That's a big old cloud around him.
I'm sure he's seeing things beyond what our eyes can see, but can't see what we can.
Zarzul, give me a con save. Because you've been partying it up a bit, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm starting to learn about this alcohol thing that everybody had been going on about.
You are pretty buzzed. You would have difficulty with the alphabet. You can still mostly get across a straight line, though.
Oh, well, about standard. I don't think I'd be able to do the alphabet too well in normally.
But it has become more of a hello, friends.
Okay, have I noticed Castalia in the corner?
No, you've noticed nothing except there's more booze in front of you, there's another pipe ready to get smoked, and there's a whole clamor of little rowdy miners.
Excellent.
You're not really focusing on anything but the immediate fun of being with your kinfolk for a while.
Been a while since I've been around the kind. Or at least similar kind.
Yeah, a positive one. Siegfried, are you just slinking back to your room?
Pretty much.
As you enter, you see Wolfgang is staring at the window. Lazily, but still staring.
I go over, give him a quick pat, and then lie down.
Does he accept attention from strangers?
He's a reasonably familiar stranger. He's useful as a sort of canary. If something's going wrong, Siegfried is the one that takes.
What you're saying is that Wolfgang's the one going, "What's the matter, boy?"
By now, Rain, you're almost back at the inn. You're around there.
At that point, then probably I would turn to Droop and say, okay, how about we take Pufflesworth up, and would you mind watching him for me so I can go down, get some food, and possibly meet up with that fellow that wanted to meet up with everybody?
He blinks for a moment. Yes. Yes, I can.
Alright.
Only the
Thank
first
you
bit
very-
involved me, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, I got that bit.
I kind of give a little bit of a laugh and I start heading up the back way.
Alrighty, back to Castalia and Tallgreen. Do you have a quandary, a
Well-
question?
Let's see, I guess I can bring out the chunk of metal I have. That's supposed to be the body of a sword. And, well, I place that on the table. Saying, as I said before, I'm a blacksmith. And I found this piece of a magic weapon.
I thought it was just a rough coin.
I'm looking to see if I can reforge it. However, it's just the body of the weapon.
It's not
Do
much
you
of much of a body either. You'd need a bit more, I imagine.
Yes, but does the design of it look familiar at all?
He picks up this. It's kind of like about 3 inches long bit of blade. It looks like a bit of a sword.
It is.
A f-
Likely from a halfling or a dwarf, or someone small.
It gives you a look at how the. You know, it's quizzical of how could you guess that from this little bit of metal. I mean, there are a few smithies. There's a. The Clump shop, actually, yeah, I brought that up with the toy snake. They also do a little bit of magical tinkering. Very little, though. It's a bit smaller. Apparently, he comes up from Chaldea. It's far up to the north, that one. As for it looking like anything, I mean, there a few of the captains come from a sort of long-blooded family, so there might be a few magic weapons knocking around. Actually, now that I think about it, piece missing, and then we have. Funnily enough, you actually would have passed the guy who had this, maybe. He's one of the Zale captains, dwarf, actually. What is his name? Karagrim? Yeah, it's Karagrim. Karagrim Estor. That's 2 O's. Yeah, his sword, it's a fancy little thing. Apparently there's lots of pieces missing, so I guess that would fit into... Yeah, I don't know what it would do, but... He's actually able to change the length of it. It might have a bit of history to it. See, just imagine, even before this time, we didn't really rub elbows a whole lot with the Azales. They were more of the upper crust, whereas I'm a bit lower to the scum. He says this with a bit of pride as he sort of, pulls on his tabard like suspenders.
Bit lower to the common folk, but yes, I understand.
A little bit. My dad and Ma were pretty fancy. My dad was actually, he was doing the job that Ragul there is doing now. Protector of the Green. But, things happen. Some issues. Especially with the king.
No, the changing of crowns usually does.
Not so much that, it was more who our previous king, his character, his personality. He wasn't a great man. Preferable to Volif, but he was not that great a dude.
Weak or just indifferent?
Oh, from what I saw him, he was definitely weak. But I don't know how much you want to know about that. You're just looking for family members, yeah?
I tilt my head a little.
Well, I did ask you how Sildar is, and I know your job.
Oh, yes.
I did get you water, right?
Yes.
You've not become so plant-like that it gets to the head a bit, does it?
No. Just I wasn't sure we were still running that avenue.
Oh, right.
But yes, seeking family members.
Yes, well, as I said, it's all very hush-hush, because the Azales were at the castle, so anyone that left, they'd be the ones in the know, but can't go row elbows. The only one we know is dead for sure was the king.
Any idea of where the others might be?
They could still be hiding out at the royal mansion in town itself. It's, I mean, since day one, it's just been, well, since the king died, it has had a full company of Azales around it. Maybe they were maybe they're under house arrest. I don't know. We don't even know if the princess or the queen were actually there. Meanwhile, if you want distant relatives, it's noble quarters just full of it. And full of it. That's been a fun part. That's been a fun part of the couple of months lately.
It definitely seems we'll be taking a small tour tomorrow, then.
I assure you, the Vulgar District is delightful. People there are very cultured. Just like a mushroom. Although I can't say that when Ragul is around. He still likes fungi.
I believe it's time for me to answer a question from you.
Oh, sure. You know, I don't really have many that are business related.
That's fine.
So I'll just start off with, now that we've done a little bit of professionalism, would you like a glass of wine?
Sure, I'd be happy to share one.
Fantastic. What are you guys up to?
Well, I would have left Pufflesworth with Droop and Cornelius.
Okay, even knocking the door. We're back!
Ah, hang on. Open the door.
Yeah, about 5 different new locks that have been hammered in. Wedged it closed with his wand of magic missiles. Most of the shops were closed, so we couldn't get a hat.
Ah, well, fair enough. You seem to be missing someone and brought someone else with you.
Oh, no, it's fine. Rain said she was just going to go downstairs. I can take Pufflesworth to another room.
It's fine. You can stay here if you want to. I'm sure you know how to control the creature.
Oh yeah, I mean, we goblins are good with wild creatures. Just have a flair for
Alright.
it. Normally we do wolves and giant spiders though.
Well, I mean, this is an owl and a bear. An owl bear, you might say. Is that any complication in that matter?
I have no idea.
Well, time for experiments then. Have at it, Drew.
Okay, I'll try to stay out of your way. Come on, Puffles. Then you just see this feeble pull. A goblin scuffing on the floor, not getting any traction. Locked in place is just this owlbear bristles a little bit, just to be a dick. He's not in any mood, he just wants to be annoying right now.
Greatly disciplined.
Well, you know, pets take after their owners.
Oh.
Cornelius just kind of narrows his eyes, seeing that part in the owl bear.
He also doesn't heal.
He does sometimes, to be fair. It's only been 2 weeks, and I've been spending a couple days away.
Yep.
He's backsliding.
Alright, Rain, you're downstairs, mingling.
I wouldn't say mingling, but so if I look around, I'd probably immediately spot the kobold.
He's a bit tough to see, actually. I'll need a perception on spotting the kobold. You're one. It's easy to find kobolds.
A bunch of them.
Yeah, it's easy to find kobolds. You're one a little bit tougher.
I would assume that he's with the kobolds. That would be the assumption on that one.
Jeez, it's not like kobolds only hang out with our own. Come on. Let's be a little bit more modern thinking, shall we?
No, I'm just going to assume since he hasn't been around any for a while, that might be where he's at.
Alright. Castelli
so
is easy enough to spot as well.
Would I spot Siegfried? Or did he leave?
He's upstairs with Wolfgang currently.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's left. Alright. Would Castalia spot me?
If she
I'm
could-
currently engaged in discussion, probably not.
Yeah, if she could take her eyes off Robert Melvitz.
Alright, so in that case, Rain is probably going to assume, since they're off on their own table, a table for two, maybe she doesn't want to interrupt that then. So she's probably going to stay by the bar, get something to eat, and a drink.
Easy enough, just a couple of copper. There's not really a selection to pick from, so you just got yourself a little wine, a little bit of toasted cheese, bit of bread. You know, something to fuel you for a bit.
Yep, pretty much.
And it's just a nice hubbub of people. You're currently in, like, you're in your dress, but it's, like, reverential, isn't it? Sort of more like your holy robes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the little symbol.
Yeah.
on the front.
You're getting less attention than you'd expect from sitting at a bar. There's not a
That's
whole
about
lot of
right.
glances in your direction.
Well, I look pretty bog standard, which is exactly what I want. I don't want a whole bunch of attention.
Yeah, plus people don't usually think of, if I want a fun night, I'm going to pester the priest.
Which is exactly what she wants. She doesn't want to get pestered. She wants to just sit and listen.
If you want to listen, give me a perception here. What are you listening out for anything particular?
I'm more interested in general, the general situation in the town. If there's anything interesting going on, like who's fighting with who, where everybody is.
Alright, give me a perception then.
Where's that button?
As you try to siphon through some of the noise for some
I'm
salient
really good
topics.
at it.
Yeah. You're able to identify pretty well. It's mainly because one corner's gotten a bit quieter because the kobolds have gotten a lot louder. And they're nearby and they're a little worried. A drunken kobold is a hell of a thing to see. There's also a growing cloud among them. Some of the cloud smells just like smoke, some of it smells a little sweet. Give me a con save, Webgun.
That's probably not good.
Snout on table.
Okay.
You're still a bit conscious after the bump, but you are quite blitzed.
Excellent.
And-
Would I have noticed Zarzul doing a faceplant?
Actually, no,
Probably
because
not.
he's still sitting at the table. You can see the ones clambering about the rafters and sitting in the windowsills, but he's actually sitting at the table. So he's blocked by any normal-sized person. And there's quite a few of them. But yes, on the topic of rumors, you hear 5. This is a good time to open up your notes and start writing.
Yep. I should probably pull up that. There we go. Oh, I need a new notepad. Nope.
You hear that there's a bit of tension among some of the mercenary companies because a few of them are monster folk. One in particular has a pair of hobgoblins as the leaders. And no one's really happy that they've been tasked with security of town watch in the Eastern District. Which is Peroncia, yeah. So some hobgoblin mercs in Peroncia.
Okay.
Yep.
How do you spell Peroncia?
I'll just copy paste. There you go.
Thank
Actually, I
you.
should do it with the other ones anyway, so... That's Balalanx. Arnvale. And of course the fancy one, Vanguil. Let's see, second rumor. There's been a lot of tension lately, especially with the temple in the Arnvale district. The northernmost part of the city, basically, so from a guess you can figure out this area here, which is where a lot of the poor live, has been almost completely boarded up and walled off. It's been done by the Templars and the clerics, and they're not saying why. They're just moving people on. And they got this worry that the poor are just being left to starve in case of war, and they won't spare the supplies on them.
That's definitely problematic.
Yeah. Third rumor. You have heard that there are holes in the walls, mainly on the south side. Which isn't a big a deal, because the orcs are just doing the simple thing. They've been smashing themselves against the east gate a lot. Not recently, actually. Past few days have been quiet, but they've done many weeks of just constant bombardments on the east gate. Fourth, just general chatter about how there's bound to be secret passages all throughout the city, and any one of those could turn up with a band of orcs in it, or a bunch of ogres ready to just break the gates open from the inside. They don't talk specifics, but they just, they usually give the claims of, it's obviously in the sewers. Or I bet the King's Mansion was just full of the things. Probably for the mistresses, but their last king was just too weak-willed to use.
Oh, so they thought that the king was weak-willed. Okay.
Yeah, there's not a lot. You're not hearing a lot of approval about the king. It's treated more as it's a damn shame he's dead than I'm sorry he's dead. Because they're not looking.
Those things where he shouldn't have died, but we didn't much care for him anyways.
Yeah, but there's a lot of thinking. Like there's a lot of division. People are like, that's your fifth one. There is a lot of division on. People weren't really for the king, but they're dreading Volef being in charge, whereas other people are backing Volef because his family has been a constant success, and he has earned his way into the captaincy of the knights and that. And there's some chatter that's apparently the whole thing that kicked it off. They're saying this as my cousin's uncle's nephew's window cleaner brought this up. That Volef's family was mainly in charge of the trade between Raxis and Chaldea, and Raxis is the only freshwater route to Chaldea. Otherwise, you'd have to trudge across or go right around the Sword Coast and up into the Northern Territories to sail there. And the ex-king was just handing the rights away to pay some debts up in Chaldea. But again, it's a friend of a contact of a boy, so you're not really sure. Others just say that Volef was always aiming for the throne and didn't like the fact that captain of the Azael Knights was the highest he could have gotten. You hear some talk about he is a very driven individual. And also questions of why the fuck isn't he out there fighting the orcs then? So there's your rumors.
Now I've got ideas on what the rumors mean, too.
Castalia, how is the evening going for you?
Oh, very well.
He is being very polite, although he does try to sneak in a few simple compliments now and again. As time passes, he does try the old touch the same glass bit as he refills the glass.
It's fine.
It's a standard move. And he also says, I've always liked the look of a woman with flowers in her hair. I've never been able to say I've enjoyed one with flowers in her horns. It's an interesting look.
Well, I'm glad it fetches.
How about the rest of you guys? Are you sort of winding down? Are you done for the evenings? Zarzul, you're fucking done. You will need carried to your room, so you either trust these guys or you ask for assistance in a way that is very difficult to understand.
Excellent.
You can leave it up to the fates, however.
I'm probably too gone at the moment to even make a move on this front.
Excellent. Okay.
And maybe also still paying for drinks without
Very much so. Do you have... how much gold do you have on you? What's your coinage?
I had about 65.
It's gone.
Oh, we totally... we've blitzed the kobold population. Well,
Yep.
a small part.
Your dagger's gone too. You've also lost your entire supply of pipeweed.
Oh God, no! No, come on!
But that's okay. That's a problem for tomorrow, Zarzul. Current one has no clue. He is drooling a small puddle onto the table.
Oh, I like that poison dagger too. Oh well.
About half of the kobolds have dispersed from that little grouping, incidentally. But they're still rowdy as they head out into the streets. Siegfried.
Wrong button.
Yes.
Anything for you during the night?
I'm guessing I should actually be wondering where our kobold friend is. So I better go downstairs and have a look.
I will point out, if I ever get a view on it, I will go over and check on Zarzul.
Oh, so you actually go across? About the same time, you and Siegfried find yourselves crossing the room in the same direction. And there's a little group of them. And as they see you approaching, hello, friends.
Oh, hell.
Have you come to drink with us?
I've come to look for our friend here.
We're all friends here.
Exactly.
Hello, friend.
Hello,
There's the
friend.
one we want. I reach down and grab him by the scuff of the neck and lift him up.
It's not hard, even for your wheedly arms. He's just dangling there. Goodbye, friend.
Why don't you take him to his room, Siegfried?
That was the plan.
We'll do this tomorrow night.
Has anyone seen my sharp, pointy thing? We're using it to open cans or something. I can't remember. Why were we using it?
As you carry him like a toddler with a handle.
I look
Hold on,
down.
what-
I'm gonna have a quick look around to see if I can spot it, but we'll see how.
Zarzul, someone is fondling you.
No, I was looking around with the group because Zazu said that the dagger's gone, but I don't see squat.
You don't really see anything.
Well, in that case, because I'm also there, so hold on.
I'm trying to break the grip.
Well, yeah, you're at disadvantage at this point, so I think he's able to keep a hold of you. Although I don't think he didn't have a strength modifier. Yeah, it's even, so I think you actually do break it because it's not a saving throw. So there's just this moment when you wrench yourself free of his grasp, and then gravity takes hold. Now you're a
Oh,
kobold
dear.
splat.
No, I stick the landing.
No, you don't. But it's okay. It's not that big a fall. You fall all of about 1.5 feet.
Alright,
Ow.
let me try taking him up, Siegfried. You look for the dagger.
Also, with your perception, all you can really work out is there's about half the kobolds that were here earlier.
Okay, so whoever took it's probably gone. Alright, Zarzul, let's go. I go to pick him up.
Hello, friend.
Hello, friend, let's get you in bed.
Okay. Uh,
I just start leading him.
Zarzul,
And over my
yeah. For embracing
over
your
my
chemical
shoulder.
addiction, you get a point of inspiration. You acted without any regard and just reveled. That's very much what Zarzul would do.
Wolfgang, bone. Bone for Wolfgang, maybe. Do not food Wolfgang.
I just see him rotating in ranged grip, as he's dangling by the scruff again, and trying to reach for someone's plate with the leftovers on it.
Yep.
Just these grabby hands with big sharp claws at the table.
I'm going to look over my shoulder and say, Siegfried, can you see if you can pick up something for Wolfgang and Pufflesworth while I take him up?
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, I
kindly.
guess I'll go over to the bar and ask for 2 meat platters.
Yeah, sure. Easy enough. Give me about 5 minutes.
Okay.
You want medium, well done, scorched?
Rare.
How rare are we talking?
They don't really even need to touch the grill.
Yeah, take him. He just walks into the kitchen, comes back with a couple of chunks of steak.
Thank you very much.
And
And I pay him.
yeah, there we go. That's you out, free silver.
Okay.
Meanwhile, in the corner, Tall Green has been mildly distracted from Castalia as he watches you free and pointed them out. Colorful.
Have I noticed all this stuff going on?
Yeah, you would have pointed it out whenever you were carrying Zarzul. So you got to see him splat.
There would be a bit of a grimace, and yes, it has been a while since we've been in a town.
I don't mean to do a low blow, but I did hear that the Sword Coast is just filled with heroes. Is this all you send inland?
Despite his inability to contain
Land on his
himself
feet.
around certain things, he is an excellent archer.
Okay. Hopefully he'll be one in the morning.
I
I
look
give
over.
no promise.
I look over at the spent bottles of ale, at the lingering pipeweed cloud. Maybe tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, whoever does anything important in the morning anyway. So you've taken up dancing then? And he is once again calling over for another bottle of wine. You free,
Yes,
having
yes.
fun getting up the stairs with Zarzul in tow.
That's gonna be the hard part. and Rain's looking at this going, oh, hell. Actually, come to think of it, what do I got in the...
Just throw the silk rope around him. Tell him he's tied up, don't actually tie him up and just carry him up. It'll be fine. Yeah, while you're sorting
1
through.
second. I actually might be trying to use a spell if we start having trouble here.
Alright, well you decide that, Pio.
Mm-hmm.
The topic is still that Castelli has taken up dancing.
Yes, I managed to acquire this attire, and we came across the Vistanti.
Oh, Vistani, yeah.
And I was invited in. Well, we went to join their crowd for the night, and I just was somewhat seized with the idea of it.
You cut out there at the end?
And I was seized with the idea of actually learning to dance a little bit.
Fair
I've never
play.
truly been one to go for great expression, except for in craft, so I wanted to try something new.
Yeah, dance is a lot of fun. I took up a few classes myself. I mean, they force you to do a bit of ballroom and such, but I still learned what I could. And plus, I mean, they're not allowed into the kingdom. That's not my decree, that was the king's, but those Vistani party hard, don't they?
Absolutely.
He's got a little bit of a whimsical grin on his face. He's sort of looking off slightly in the distance. Oh man, some of those dances they did were pretty eye-catching. I learned a few steps as well, but I didn't quite have the sway for it.
Yeah.
But, you know, you get enough wine in and suddenly it looks like a good idea. And now, back to the fuck-ups on the stairs.
So I'm concerned that he's gonna try to fight us on the way up. He's going to get
Roll initiative.
bodies later. No, I'm concerned he's gonna try flailing or trip or something. So I'm looking at Siegfried and go, okay, Siegfried, You grab the legs, I'll grab under the arms, and we're gonna carry him up.
You know what I love?
Do you realise I've got 2 plates of food?
Can you run those up and then come back down? Because he ain't
Okay,
gonna be able to walk up the stairs.
Yep. I go up, I open the door, put a plate in front of Wolfgang without much problem. Then I go to the Rain's room and check to see how Pufflesworth is doing.
The room is empty.
Okay, I go and check Cornelius' and Droop's room and see if Pufflesworth is there.
Pufflesworth is sitting on top of Droop, but it's fine. Droop is rubbing him. And once you put the plate anywhere near the floor level, there is now a ball of fur charging towards you.
I quickly get out of the room and close the door.
You hear a
Cornelius managed to go. Huh?
Yeah, you heard a yelping goblin and a thud on the door. But job done. Also, I love how this problem is compounded by the fact that the party... it's the main party weakness. They don't talk. You could have just asked Zarzul to come upstairs. He's drunk, but he's still somewhat conscious.
He's conscious, but I don't know if he's not going to trip on the stairs.
It's the party issue of trust. They don't trust enough.
I know. I mean, they've got a good example not to trust him currently.
Yeah, we've already seen him faceplant on solid, flat ground. I don't trust him not to faceplant on the stairs and break his neck.
I only take a couple of D4 damage tops. It's fine.
A D8 for...
Depends on how many times you fall down the steps.
Oh no, these are sharp mahogany steps. Each one's a D8 at least.
Okay, as long as you don't drop me from the top one, I should be fine.
You could just
That's
throw
why
him up and...
I have a plan to make that whole thing moot. So
Well, I'm back. I just put my hand underneath Zazu's shoulder and lead him up the stairs.
Friend, how you doing?
Yes.
Friend?
Good. Just one foot in front of the other, carefully.
How many feet do I have?
2.
5?
Oh god.
2. You sure? That looks like 5.
You're also curious why one of them is furry.
Where'd that one come from?
Oh god. Zarzul, it's okay. You're going to go take a nappy poodle.
Huh? What the hell is a nappy poodle? Some form of dog?
Oh god.
Let me check.
Roll nature, yes. It is. You think so anyway. They perch in low trees.
Ooh, this is a form of drop bear. Or friend of drop.
What is he going on about?
Air sign plummeters. Dangerous beasts.
I want to know what he's been smoking because I kind of want some now.
Oh god. Oh god.
Oh god.
How many stairs are there? I can't see.
You can't even count that high anyway to begin with.
Just
I love these
one,
full-grown
two,
adults
three.
struggling with the 30-pound kobold.
Mini one, mini.
Just keep climbing, and once you don't see any more stairs, then you know they're done.
You know, Zarzul, you've got magic.
Oh god.
Okay. What can I do? How can I fuck this up further?
Cornelius, the
that's actually what I
sounds you're hearing of this baby owlbear ripping apart a steak, it's not comforting in the middle of the night in a room. And back
Can I
to...
hear them?
Can you hear
Can I
this?
hear them out?
A little bit. It's a little muffled. They're quite low on the stairs right now. They're only going up one floor, but it's taking a while.
Probably Siegfried hasn't tried to fireman lift me over his shoulder or something.
He has no
He might have
strength.
something else to do.
No, I got a sneaking suspicion. While he might be small, he might have a very large stomach.
Just his
Also, I'm going to
rotund little
point out-
gut and spindly limbs.
Yes,
I'm
which
going
may be been evacuated of contents.
I'm also going to point out I'm chilling directly behind him, and I'm readying a spell in case things go wrong.
Ah, yes, guiding bolt.
No, not guiding bolt.
Well, Siegfried?
Siegfried, why have you got 5 legs?
2 of those are yours.
Really? But... what are you doing with my legs? Why do you have my legs? My legs!
A few people are leaning out of their room doors as they hear this kobold scream for his legs. You definitely hear this, Cornelius. Even
Zarzul,
Castalia
you
hears
have
this.
Your legs. Zarzul, you have your legs. You are seeing both your legs and his legs. You have them.
But-
Don't worry. They are still
Then why-
attached.
Then why do I have Siegfried's legs? This is not any better. I don't want Siegfried's legs.
At this point, I'm just opening the door and walking out. What the hell is going on?
Castalia, you hear this, quite distant and muffled, but, you know, the pouring of the third glass of wine, it's not covering up the sound of a kobold scream about his legs.
He's a wee bit drunk.
Oh, for peeps. By the heavens, people, come on. It's a kobold.
We're trying. He's also face planted, and Siegfried's already dropped him.
Must do everything here, and I just call out a disc.
I was waiting for him to say, I call out Droop.
No,
Must I do
call
everything
out a
myself? Servant!
disc. No, I hope he's keeping an eye out on the Albert there. I could probably still hear him ripping that plate apart. And then, yeah, but that's pretty much just summon this disc forward. Here, I walk up, position him in here. This is ridiculous, people.
Alright, here we go. Are you ready, Siegfried? Let's lift him up.
Zarzul, it's like you're on a golden throne right now. You're on a palanquin of pure luxury as these loyal servants raise you up to your lair, to your hoard.
He's not made out of porcelain. Just drop him on the plate, people.
You close your eyes, grin, and you feel your wings beat against the air.
Flying.
Truly,
At this
you are a
point-
dragon
Yeah.
now.
At this point, I just walk up
I
to
try and breathe
Siegfried's room.
fire.
Do you? Give me a con save. As you try in your
Oh.
drunken and drugged state to breathe fire.
Oh god.
It's not pretty. It's surprisingly pressurized.
Which way is pointing?
Upwards. So it's just going in various directions. Mostly on himself. Mostly on himself, across the disc, dripping on the floor. It's... Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I suppose the disc would have him a little bit, and then there's a slanted roof to think about how it might be hitting that and coming down on the people behind him.
Oh god.
It's... None of it is a good place to be in. You know?
I cast shield immediately. I use my reaction.
What? Wait, is the disc a concentration?
I don't think this does any
But
damage.
shield is not a concentration.
Okay.
God, I wish it
It's a
was.
reaction.
So, Siegfried, Rain.
Oh god.
What do you got to do? As Cornelius uses a first level spell and becomes surrounded by glowing runes and lines of magical energy across his person to fend off Zarzul's lunch, dinner, breakfast, probably last week's dinner as well.
And all
I'm
that
going to use
wonderful
Uncanny
alcohol.
Dodge to try and minimize the.
Only your left arm gets coated.
Rain has given up at this point. She's just standing in there looking incredibly pissed.
You look a lot worse than that.
But at the same time, once he's more or less done, I can prestidigitate. Which I start doing very religiously, specifically to the hall as well, because the last thing I want is them complaining that the kobold vomited all over the halls and we didn't clean it up. So I clean
Zarzul,
up me.
you feel a lot better now. More comfortable.
Tilt the head to the side.
I feel a lot better.
You better hope Siegfried doesn't tell Nundro this one for the next play.
Zarzul.
That's right, I'll probably tell her.
Yeah.
With pride.
I was flying and breathing fire!
It got everywhere.
Please get him in the room. I'll clean him up once I get in there. Let me finish the hall. And Siegfried. And me again, just in case I missed it the first time.
Yes. Come on, you foul little creature. Let's get you to bed. And I pretty much I just open the door, just position myself so the disc just sort of it's just inside the room, just away from the door. Discontinue the disc.
I figured you were just going to grab the end so it tilts and slides him off.
Well, that's basically what's happened once I discontinue
Yeah.
it. Just pop and closes the door.
Wolfgang looks like he expected this. There is no surprise on the wolf's face.
Here we go again.
Well, that's one kobold secured. Have a good night, you two. And I just walk into my room.
Oh hell.
And you immediately
So I
step
fix
on some
myself
broken
up.
ceramics. They crunch underneath your boots. I can fix it, it's okay, I can fix it. It's just there's lots of pieces and I gotta fuse them one by one.
Thank you, Droop.
There's more. Never mind.
Where's the owlbear in the room at the moment?
It's just sat with a big pudgy stomach leaning against a wall,
Okay, good.
kind of dozing off. Sig- What a fun endeavor that was. So, Siegfried, you realize after all this that they put him in the room that you're staying in.
I'll have to go in and help clean Zarzul up once I clean the hall and Siegfried and myself.
Yeah, easy enough. It's all spick and span. There's still the memory of it happening. There's still the visual you saw.
Yep.
Nothing can clean the memory.
Nope.
Not until you get very high level. Castalia. Robert has started talking about how he tried out for the Knights. Very simple. It took him a few goes. He wasn't quite the physical peak that they needed at that point. But he's being very jovial about it, telling a few remarks and anecdotes.
Am I hearing the kobold commotion?
You heard muffled and, it's kind of hard. Actually, give me a perception. Maybe you were
Please.
trying to listen out for him, because you heard the scream about his legs. But the rest, it's a little tougher.
Please, for once, roll bad. See where is proficiency. It's out there. It is. Good, thank God.
I think it also would depend on whether or not the rain screamed once vomit started flying over her.
Oh, she would have.
Then I heard it anyway.
You heard, but it's up to you if you want to pay attention to that or try to focus on your dinner guest. It's a tough choice.
I want to focus on my dinner guest, but at the same time,
There was a scream. There was also the sounds of wet splatting.
But it's quietened down now.
It's much quieter now.
Wolfgang has sort of shoved Zazzle under the bed, then jumped on the bed.
Yep. It's just like that thing where a dog buries a mistake. Well, the evening has drawn on a bit. I didn't think I'd talk for that long. Sorry about that.
oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Hopefully I'll hear a little bit more about yourself next time. Shall we do this, do you have any plans for tomorrow night?
Well, besides my
Do you want to take Talking to the theater?
I was going to bring it up.
Sorry.
Besides my excursions, I was thinking of visiting the show tomorrow.
Oh, the Heroes of Van Dalen. That's a pretty good show.
Yes, I'm curious.
You going by yourself?
I was hoping to take my friends, but well,
I should probably talk to them at some point anyway.
the more the merrier then.
Alright then.
And if they can't come, then it's just us two.
I'll be diplomatic and say that's a little better. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow then.
See you then.
So about, we'll say lunchtime or dinner time or so. About when the sun's gone.
Sounds perfect.
Excellent. Have a good evening, Miss Talia. And I have to remember to look fully sober as I get back to the barracks.
Have a good evening, Robert.
You too, Castalia. He makes his exits, and you realize that upstairs you have to face whatever the fuck happened.
Yes, I know.
Luckily, there's no evidence of anything at all. As you get up the stairs, there's no scent, there's no stains or anything of whatever could have happened. But you also notice that all the rooms are closed. There's no real murmur or activity.
Has Rain come in and remember to collect the Pufflesworth yet?
I would collect Pufflesworth after I helped Zarzul get into bed and prestidigitated Zarzul.
That's probably the only activity you see then is Rain coming out of Cornelius' room with Pufflesworth in her arms. Fat, dangling, stretched out.
Hi!
What is
Just-
Castelli? Never mind.
Just what happened?
Zarzul got completely potted. Apparently he's lost his dagger, so that's fun and exciting. And yeah, he kind of got a bit sick.
Now, aside from him getting sick from drinking and smoking too much, a natural occurrence, are you saying he lost the dagger?
I'm saying the dagger took a walkie.
The necromantic dagger.
Yes.
No, this is
No,
his
no,
drow
I
one
see.
with a poison.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The poison.
Cornelius has the necromantic day.
Ah.
Yes,
Yep.
safe in the pocket.
And exactly what crowd was he with?
The kobolds.
We probably should try and get that back.
I have a strange inkling that whatever kobold had it is very long gone.
Or perhaps
Yeah.
closer than you think. No, he's fucking gone. Across the border. He's out of there. Out of your jurisdiction.
Let us.
Yeah.
When we get to it. Okay, and what was all the screaming about?
That's when he proceeded to vomit all over us.
You didn't tilt his head to the side?
He was on the floating disc at the time.
You didn't tilt his head at the side to the side?
We weren't standing at his head at the time. We were standing behind him.
And yet I still got them.
I mean, to the side wouldn't have helped. He was right beside the wall. It's a lot of backblast.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. You underestimate the pure force of what transpired. It was not good. And this is coming from somebody that does deal with sick people on occasion.
But do you deal with drunk people on occasion?
Oh yeah, you see a lot of that.
Then do you know why I'm saying to tilt his head to the side?
Yeah, but he was also conscious. He's actually 100% conscious. I wouldn't say he's very useful, but he's conscious. He's conscious.
Not anymore.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, there's no problem at all going to sleep right now.
Or at least he was conscious when I dropped him off after I cleaned him up. So he is clean too.
And basically empty at this point.
Well, at least it is not as bad as I thought.
He's just very and high.
What an asset to the team.
Yeah.
And so, you both head off for the same room. Get prepped for slumber. Costello, you're finding a bit of issue in trying to sleep in a regular bed because, well, wet sheets. You don't feel the cold or anything, but they're clinging annoyingly.
It's a price to pay.
Oh, and Pufflesworth can try out his new toys.
He's asleep.
Oh, well, that works too.
Oh, thank goodness. I didn't really want to hear him chewing and tearing at something all night.
I bring him into bed.
Rain ignores what Cassali is saying to just bring the dangerous animal into her bed with her. And so you all just simply slumber, yes?
We try.
Easy enough.
I mean, if Cornelius was truly paranoid, he would of course made the room a sanctuary with his spell.
I think that takes a material component that costs a bit, doesn't it?
What the
Oh,
old
tiny
hut?
Oh, you're just gonna do tiny
Yeah.
hut? Well, you could do if you want. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, but no, he's not that paranoid anymore.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if he was paranoid, he could
Yep.
have.
So,
Rain is slightly paranoid. She might try to alarm the door.
okay, you get up for a bit, cast the spell. What are you setting it for? Like, what sort of size are you looking for?
Oh, I'm just alarming just the door. The door.
No, that's what I
area.
mean. Is it's like small, so it could include animals, or are you just looking for person-sized?
Oh, any anyone that, yeah, anyone.
Okay, so person-sized.
Well, yeah, or technically an animal either, because it alerts to anything. Basically, if anybody touches or enters.
I'm just saying you can set it, that's all. But okay then. 4 hours into the evening, Rain, you are awoken by the blaring in your head.
I go to check out what's up.
Pufflesworth is also interested as he spies a rat in the room.
Get him, Pufflesworth.
There's a lot of scrabbling, there's a lot of noise, as he's just bounding around with his full speed and weight along this wooden floor, bashing against the bed and the walls, chasing after this rodent. Castalia, give me a perception with disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Perception.
You're able to stay asleep. Even ignoring the fact that your bed moves like a third of an inch whenever Pufflesworth bashes his head against it, chasing after the rat. And then finally, he just slurps it up.
Good boy.
And then waits for you to lift him back up.
Oh yeah, I lift him back up on the bed.
Meanwhile, hours pass. It's quite nice to rest, with a roof over you. It's been a fair few days, really. No wind blasting at you. No concerns of something wandering up. Morning arrives. You have all restored what you get back. You've got half your hit dice back if you've spent any. Well, yeah, half your max. Wolfgang awakens, feeling a bit lighter. To Siegfried's bleary eyes, he seems fine. To Zarzul, however, your dog's bald. As Wolfgang hops on down and shows his left side to you, there is no fur. Siegfried, as you look at the right side, there is a full coat of fur.
Okay.
Okay, what happened?
Wolfgang looks down at his paw, realizes he has no idea what happened, because he's a dog.
Is the bed covered in fur?
No.
Where did the fur go? Wolfgang,
He looks perfectly healthy.
where'd the fur go?
Siegfried, finally Wolfgang turns a bit to look at you as you get up, and you can now see there is a half-shaven dog here.
Right. Okay. First item of business. I remove my dwarven pout and put it around.
Great, now
Wolfgang looks very confused.
Yeah, sadly, he's just a beast, not a humanoid. He can't get the benefits of that belt. Nice idea, though.
I notice it's not a tuning and take it back.
Cornelius, you and Droop awaken fine. It's quite nice to be in a bed. It's still a cheap, nasty bed and all, but it's better than a bedroll.
I'm looking around the room to see if there's any obvious signs of what happened.
Give me a perception. Well, actually, investigation. You are on the ball tonight. Well, this morning, which is a real surprise considering what happened the night before.
Hey, I've got 17 on my con save. I'm doing well.
Yep. So as you check out the area, you look over across the bed, you notice some of it's been smoothed out, more than if Wolfgang was sleeping on it. So you then check along that way, along the smooth parts. Then you see along the floorboards, there's a few little scrapes and scratches. Brings you up to the window, and you can see there's a few more scratches and worried wood. It's been forced open at one point. It's a small window, though. It wouldn't be able to fit a full person.
Yes. I'm looking. Is there any marks that would suggest what type of creature came?
Well, as you think about it, you decide to try how would you sneak through this room, and as you do it, the stride seems about the right size for you, and the scuff marks seem to match up with claws. You've got a pretty good suspicion this was done by a kobold.
I'm gonna have a chat with the kobolds. Now, friendly etiquette, and maybe try to get my dagger.
Castalia, it's not a pleasant waking up. You don't feel the cold or anything like that there, but it is a fight to get out of this mire that is a bed. You've soaked through it quite a bit.
You've literally wet the bed.
Yep. Rain, you're fine, although as you wake up, you do look across at your roommate and see that there's a lot of dripping coming along the entire underside of the stuffed mattress.
Oh dear.
Also, there's a pellet beside your head.
Oh dear.
Looks like it could have been the rat.
Well, that's why we have Pufflesworth.
No, that's why.
Yeah. Well, I have to clean that up.
It is morning. What are you guys going to be up to?
Well, Cornelia is gonna hope there's not too many people downstairs. Ain't gonna brave going down there to eat. Only wearing a normal shirt though. Nothing too.
Nothing very trademark.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a handful of people. I mean, it's mostly looks like merchant folk. There's still a few mercenaries hanging around as well. You can tell even now they've got their armor and weapons on them. But it's about a third of the traffic it had at the night. So, easy enough to settle down, bowl of porridge. Glass of wine if you want to start that early.
No, that's way too early, even for Cornelius.
Droop drawing a
Yep.
face in his.
Wouldn't happen to have tea at this establishment, would they?
Oh, yes. Not much choice. Just usually like 2 brands and that's it. But you're able to get yourself a nice brown tea.
Sounds great.
Droop settles for some good old-fashioned goat juice.
All right. I'm glad he just wanted it fresh this time.
Zarzul.
Yes.
Siegfried.
Yep.
What are you guys up to?
Well, I'm going to go downstairs and see Cornelius.
As you look at him, you realize you've never seen him this sort of casual before. In your brief periods of working together.
Morning, Siegfried.
Morning. Well, what's your plan for today?
Probably to secure a more secure base of operations, so to speak.
Well, I'm going to have a look at trying to gain access to the castle.
All right. Any particular reason?
Well, from my understanding, that's where the royal family was last seen. So, would be a good place to start looking.
All right.
Might see if I can get onto a cleaning crew or something. Go in there as a cleaner opposed to trying to skulk about.
As a cleaning crew.
you know, overalls, you know,
Custodian.
bucket,
Yes, mop, bucket, squeegee, all these magical tools.
clipboard with saying with a work order on it, you know, the standard drill.
Can't say I'm truly familiar with it, but I guess we
No,
can.
I was going to be looking for an existing cleaning crew opposed to creating our own one.
All right, I guess we can table as the plan. As I hope that there's a much more less intricate plan.
Siegfried, if you want to help out cleaning and all, I mean, you could just join us at the Scent Estate.
Different purpose for the cleaning.
What?
I'm trying to get information about what's in the castle. I don't want to just clean.
Right. Okay. I mean, it's a good wage, I think.
I'll look at the troop. Does he actually pay you?
I am a student. He pays me by teaching me the ways of magic and how to harness them.
Exactly. You don't know how much
Right.
it would cost.
Yeah, that came out of the party funds, the book.
Then you can see he's getting well paid.
By us. No, I'm not there.
You can walk down anytime you guys want.
Well, I can't leave Pufflesworth, so I'm going to be asking Castalia if she can find Droop to assist me in watching Pufflesworth.
He's having breakfast.
Yeah, after he has his
He's not your servant.
I ask for help with prestidigitating the bed and simply say, don't you have a leash for Pufflesworth?
I do, but remember I'm not supposed to have him down in the main area.
Yeah, only trained animals.
No.
Not wild beasts on a lever strap.
Or Wolfgang.
But Wolfgang is trained. He trained to Kobold Whale.
Yeah, Wolfgang's trained. Zazzle, you've got to be worried about.
Is Zarzel and Wolfgang coming down?
Zazzle is worried about the hair loss thing and trying to work out a way to mitigate or fix this problem.
She starts pulling some of the hay out from the mattress and putting it against it. No, it's not going to glue there.
Yeah, I don't think I've got much in the way of options spell-wise either. Pretty sure Druidcraft doesn't count.
So there you go, Castellian Rain. You got a nice trade there. Clean the bed for going down to ask for assistance.
I will
Yeah.
watch Pufflesworth while you go down to ask for Droop.
Okay, well, I can prestidigitate the bed, too.
Which thankfully gets rid of most of the water damage.
Yeah. And then I would head down for breakfast, and I would see everybody, and I'd walk over. You look a little bit underdressed.
What do you mean?
You're not normally this casual.
Well, I see reason for why I might not be able to be as usually dressed as I am.
I suppose.
Okay, Zazzle and Wolfgang are going to come down.
You all get to see as he turns the corner a half-shaven wolf. The left side completely bare of hair. Half the tail, 2 legs, full flank, and the face. It's like there's a smaller dog that lived inside Wolfgang.
I thought Wolfgang wasn't allowed downstairs because he'd scared the kids.
Well, yeah, immediately he starts getting chewed up by a bartender. I told you, don't bring a bloody animal up.
down. Whatever.
It's not sick, is it?
No, I appear to have somebody shaved him during the night.
The Phantom Wolf Shaver.
Oh, well.
Yes.
He gives a glance around the room and says, alright, it's early enough. Just keep him by your table, alright?
Will do.
Don't make a habit of it.
Whenever they get over, I'm going to immediately ask, Zarzul, what happened to him?
I don't know. Somebody shaved him during the night. How the hell I managed that? I've got no idea.
Yes, you were so alert.
Yes, but Wolfgang would have been slightly alert at least.
Why did someone sneak into your room to shave your dog?
I have no idea. I don't know even how they knew it was my room.
Do you want me to alarm your room tomorrow? Assuming we don't find accommodations?
I'll look into it then. This is get a plan. Any idea how my friend can get his fur back?
I'm a bit confused. How did he get shaved without waking up?
I have no idea. Possibly very stealthy.
That takes a lot of stealth.
Yeah.
Wait. If someone could have gone in at this point, I stand up and I hurry up to the room where we had the chest with
Yeah.
all the gold in it.
Yep. It looks about the same. Still a lot of coins, but it pretty much looks like when you last peeked in it.
Okay. I go back down. Alright. So at least we only have a shaved dog to worry about.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything that can fix him. I'm sorry about that.
Might be able to find some sort of hair tonic in town.
Are there any kobolds left from last night here?
There is one. He's still in the rafters. You can
Okay,
see an
so-
arm and a leg hanging over the side.
Is he awake?
No.
Best to let sleeping kobolds lie, I think, at this point.
You're very nice to the group of people that stole your dagger and smoke all your weed.
Yes, but I don't think that's one of them. He's still here.
I
Probably
mean,
because he had too much of your weed.
as you get a look at him, you definitely see that he doesn't have any knife on him. He's got no shirt either, and only a pair of shorts. You're pretty sure when you spotted him earlier, he had trousers on.
Yes, I'm gonna have to find some of the kobolds. Have a quick chat to them. Well, so barring that, what's our plan for today? Find somewhere to buy, squat, or steal?
Preferably buy or rent.
The rest of you see an incredibly disgusted look on the bar owner as he overhears the last bit of a kobold statement. He doesn't see it, but you do.
We want to rent or buy Zarzul.
Ah, okay.
I shake
Yeah.
my head.
Yes, we should see if there's any place that is reasonably for our accommodation.
I've got some bits and pieces of information on that, but I think we should probably wait until Castalia can come down, which is a bit of a problem because she's currently watching Bufflesworth, who can't come down.
Castalia, you're starting to wonder if she'll ever come back.
Mhm.
There's a rumble in both your stomachs.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. At that point, I turn to Droop and I say, Droop, after breakfast, would you mind watching Pufflesworth so Castalia can come down?
He looks over at Cornelius, of course. Do I?
That is completely up to you.
Is it?
It is. Do you want to help or not? You don't have to.
I wonder if he's trying to, like, you don't have to as he's nodding. You could help, shakes head. Yeah, sure, okay, I'll help out. Have fun with him.
Thank you, Droop. At that point, I go, I say, well, I'll head back up so Castalia can head down. And once you come up, then we can figure out what we plan on doing. I did get some information about the area last night, but we'll see. I have to go get some breakfast for Pufflesworth.
Just loud slurps as he just licks the bowl clean and starts heading up behind you. Hold on.
Thank you, Drew. I go over to the bar to get the meal for Pufflesworth and order something for myself.
Castalia, you're not naked, are you?
No, I'm just here with Pufflesworth, and
Ah.
he's getting a bit hungry.
Oh. Hang on. You hear skittering footsteps going back down the hallway. And there was a goblin at the side of Rain. Pufflesworth needs something to eat.
Yep, that's what I'm here waiting for.
Oh, okay. What do you request? Just another chunk of meat?
Yeah, for Pufflesworth, just to meet, and then I'd ask what they've got for the actual not animals.
Well, you're down a silver and 2 copper.
Okay.
And he just goes through. At the moment, they've just got a simple porridge. You could have some of last night's soup and stews, but nothing really,
Yeah,
nothing really fresh at the moment.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yep. Easy enough, just a copper. And yeah, once it's passed over, Droop scoots back up. Castalia, you're dressed still, yeah?
Yes, I have no real reason to get naked, so yes, I'm still dressed.
Okay, I'm just making sure, because you're not meant to go into a girl's room when she's not clothed. Anyway, I'm coming in now. He still has his eyes closed when he does. I'm here to look after Pufflesworth so you can go downstairs.
Thank you. Cornelius taught you well. I give him a pat on the head as I make to go downstairs.
After the wet pat, he's now got like a slightly sort of suave, slick back hairstyle.
Alright, I head down the stairs to nod a greeting to the rest of the party. Is Zarzul there?
Zarzul and Wolfgang are there.
I look to Zarzul. Are you feeling better this morning?
I'm feeling fine.
You are,
Missing
actually.
a couple of things.
The headache seems pretty mild.
Well, good. I certainly hope you had fun last night.
Oh yes. Gonna have to do a couple of things today, but all going well so far.
I would look at Wolfgang and give a little bit of a start and go, point, is he alright?
He's mostly left now.
Roxfall kills DM. Never mind.
I was wondering if someone's going to twig on that one.
I mean, if we'd used it, you would have used it as an excuse to kill our characters. Okay, no, he's just shaved. I have no idea how they managed that, but hmm.
Hmm. I suppose that's something to add to the list. Is there an open chair at the table?
Oh yeah, it's very easy just to grab enough seating for all of you.
Alright, I take a seat. And in a hushed tone, I relay the information I learned last night from Robert about where the family might be, about possibly going to the mansion to investigate a little bit, and of the problem with twig blights and their connection to the elves.
Ah, so he's the contact.
Hmm.
Well, hopefully he's the contact.
Why, that would be nefarious if he wasn't.
Exactly, that's what I'm worried about.
Well, it wouldn't really matter much if he was or not. At this point, he already knows, so.
Pretty much. All we can do is move forward.
The main question would be, do we want to let him get any more information from us about that?
We don't really have much more information.
Yeah, I know, but I'm more indicating that once we get plans, do we really want to inform him of all of our plans?
We should likely see what we learn first before that.
Yeah.
Likewise, I'd like to go pick up a shield today and perhaps see the show tonight. Robert will also be there, and he'd like to talk to more of us.
Well, I'm all for the show. I want to see what these guys apparently got up to.
As you're sighing and settling back, you look out the window to the right and you can see your hat bobbing on someone's head as they walk past.
I really hope it doesn't catch back on the Sword Coast.
We can always make sure that it does.
The new Neverwinter production. The first theater production said to last longer than an elf's lifespan. The heroes of Van Dalen, never to cease. It'll run longer than fucking cats.
Oh, so we just have to wait till they make a remake movie, and that'll be gone. Okay.
Well, first they've got to invent movies, so it could take a while.
Oh, God.
You don't like your newfound stardom?
Considering I didn't have much say in it, no. Besides, I thought that it's an operette.
Very doubtful. But it's, just wait till you see it. It may do you more justice than you think.
I doubt.
Oh, yeah, Cornelius wouldn't know where it was that he got where the information for the show was from, because only Siegfried knows.
Yep. Whatever Nundro found out was from Siegfried.
Yeah, and Siegfried hasn't shared that information.
Well, you saw his name as a consultant on the poster. He was listed as part of production.
Well, that depends on what my compatriot here has been talking about.
I have no recollection of it.
You've no fucking idea. None whatsoever.
Well, I guess it'll be enlightening for everyone.
What did you guys do in the first place?
Well, I guess you can find out tonight.
Are you going to come with us?
I know
It
I am.
sounds like I don't have much of a choice.
Well, it's up to you. I mean, I'm not going to twist your arm.
No, but our contact is going to be there, so I don't think there's much choice.
Can we get you anything to make it less annoying?
I mean, unless you can burn down the theater. No, I don't think.
All right.
Don't you want to know how they put you on the stage?
And I look out again. How many hats do I see this time?
You don't see anything. You just see people passing by quite nicely.
I'm mildly sorry, but it is funny, Cornelius.
I just love how he won't talk about his honest experience. He'll wait for you to see the Fox News version.
Exactly. and Siegfried ain't saying anything either.
I mean, he wasn't asked.
I said, what did you guys do? So that is plural.
Well, you could say it was a first-time gig for most of us. There's
So
almost feels like
you mildly knackered it up a bit.
mildly is putting it lightly, I would say.
Ah.
Hell, I remember Malcolm being quite a different character back then. I didn't know and everything.
It wasn't for what?
Whatever god he had chosen. He used to be a paladin, you know.
What?
Oh, he didn't mention that?
No, he didn't really mention much.
None of you have mentioned anything.
Yeah, after... Oh, boy. And I just... Let's just take a just cut down the time here, or just give them the short version of what happened. The first time they met the goblins, where the goblin leader managed to get away.
Or if they got flushed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was later, yeah. We managed to get flushed, where we were almost murdered by a necromancer. Or kind of blackmailed into working for the necromancer for, in order to make sure that we didn't die and the city didn't die.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically...
The many times that Siegfried was chewed on. I like to imagine anytime
yeah.
you brought up the ghouls, he just shudders a little bit.
I get up to leave.
Not even when he gets to the bad bits, just right at the start.
And yeah, that basically how it was that it was Stroop that in the end was able to bring about fixing it all when he finally mentioned that he knew where everything happened was.
Oh, yes, that infamous scene.
I love that. I know where it is. Didn't we ask him? No, we never brought him with us. He was never there when we talked about it.
I can see why you're a bit hesitant.
I imagine he gives you a very bleak version of it too.
And then also starting to mention as to why we were nervous about the leader of the Red Cloaks in the first town we were in, with all the refugees from Raxis.
Hold the phone, guys. So you had all of that, and you never bothered to inform us that it might be an issue?
I did.
slowly turned to Rain
Well, they
and
did, but
said
not...
one word, Prenders.
Take inspiration for that burn.
I'm going to point out, I didn't expect him to pop up. I did not expect him to be anywhere in the vicinity.
I make a motion to what would be the wall with the poster on it.
Yeah, but that's different from when the situation actually pops up. And there's a potential for things to go wrong.
I make a motion to the same poster.
I'm talking about back at the town.
I did warn you.
You, very briefly, but you didn't tell us why.
There's also a black
I
pot
did.
and kettle, incidentally, on the table, Castalia, if you need that for an example.
But considering that she had much more information, would you have started the battle with the entire town's worth of bodyguards?
Oh, no, we didn't want to fight them.
Exactly.
Would have been nice to know in case things did go wrong.
And
Then
it
we wouldn't-
didn't, because you wouldn't have any reason to suspect it.
Ay, 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 ay.
But yeah, this is why I have been rather paranoid as of lately, because there are many people out there who probably at this point want us dead. Well, maybe not the necromancer, but who knows?
I mean, the goblin's also okay with you now. You did him a solid.
I'm not so worried about goblin assassins. But that's the spider, and that's the red cloak. And now we also have a secondary, maybe even a third necromancer after us. So yes, you might be one. So yes, that is why I'm not particularly thrilled about this story. We didn't solve anything.
I hope it's the same necromancer then.
It wasn't.
Darn. Hmm.
On that triumphant note. Any other topics of conversation, or should you get started with your day's activities?
Well, my suggestion is going to be let's try to find a place to stay.
Also, at this point, I'm kind of looking around to make sure there wasn't actually anyone who just noticed that I gave the cliff note to the entire play.
No one was really paying attention to you guys. They were giving some odd looks at Wolfgang, but that's about it.
Okay, good.
So I was listening about a bit. And there's been some info flowing around, but mostly what I'd be thinking is the Eastern District is closer to where the orcs are, which means, the attacking force, which means that houses over there will probably be easier to acquire.
All right.
But there's also apparently some mercenaries working on the guards there, and one of them's run by hobgoblins.
Well, there
And
must be
apparently that's causing some issues. I don't know.
must be getting desperate to start hiring hobgoblins.
I'm more interested in why those are the mercenaries that they have in charge of the guard on that side. And I'm wondering, is the problems that people are just, they don't like the hobgoblins? Or are they actually causing issues? So that's something we might want to factor into our equation.
Maybe the population on that side has been seen as a nail, and the hobgoblins have been used as a hammer.
Well, the poorer district up north is flat out getting boarded up and walled off. and nobody's saying why. So that probably means we shouldn't be looking over that direction. And we might want to figure out what's going on up there.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Not we should help them. We should not help the poor, but that sounds about right. That's a good attitude.
I'm concerned. First off, obviously that's the problem in and of itself. But apparently the Templars and the clerics are involved in all of this, which makes me wonder if they've got some sort of a plague going on over there.
Well, the city is sort of on and off siege, so does seem to be like the most prevalent time for that sort of thing to happen.
Which might mean that we've got a hard cap on how long we can stay here. Because in a flat-out plague, I'm not sure if we want to stay around.
Well, I wasn't exactly planning to make this a permanent stay.
No, but let's be realistic. This might take a long time. Once we find a place to live, that's when we might want to start trying to dig up that individual, the representative for that noble who might want that shell.
Yes. At least want to make sure that we can store it somewhere and not just that card.
I'm going to remind the rest of you, you can join in at any point. This is a roundtable conversation with all the group there.
Well, Siegfried left.
Where'd you go, Siegfried?
Back up to the room. I'm currently hiding under the covers.
Alrighty. He's safe. Back to the room.
Billy?
No, of course not. But you guys are now safer. He's gone. Okay. Back to the dining room.
So we've got pretty much, when it comes to buying a house, that pretty much sums it up pretty well. And we might not want to be too close to the south side because people probably would be able to sneak in if they don't have guards posted down all the holes.
Where did you find out all of this?
Oh, just sitting at the bar.
Huh. Well, I would assume the two of us should probably try and handle the acquisition of an abode to live. What about the rest of you?
I'll be heading to the mansion to see if I can go find out anything.
The mansion?
Yes, the place where the royal family might actually be.
I thought that was all guarded off and secluded. We weren't allowed up there.
We aren't, but I'm going to go see exactly who is not allowed in. All I know is the Azael Knights are around it, keeping it under lock and key. I'd like to know more details about why. Likewise, I need to see a captain of the Azaels, and visit the Fogelclumps.
All right.
Well, if you're out and about, can you keep an eye on where Zarzul's dagger might have gone to? And maybe who shaved a wolf?
The latter I doubt I would find any information on. The former...
Maybe drag Siegfried with you. You seem to be the one to have a magnet for trouble. Maybe he can pull you towards where it is.
Yes, I will ask Siegfried along, if he's willing. Where shall we meet back and when?
Probably here, I think.
Aha, but where is here?
The barn, which name I forget.
the bar was you could go outside the door and look at the sign.
Yep.
Sign's gone. Some drunken kobold stole it.
You could walk up to the barkeep and say, "Well, what's this place called again?"
I'm rather insulted that you don't know it. Get out, you're barred. It is the Welcome to Dawn Inn.
Ah,
Spot number 13 on the map. Alright, you've got your plans. Siegfried, you hear the door open. Or I suppose Castelli would have knocked.
I peek from out from under the covers to see who it is.
I had knocked on the door first.
Yeah.
So the door's not open yet.
You hear a knock at the door, Siegfried.
They're
I
coming
went.
for you.
Who is it?
It's Castalia.
Right. I get out of the bed and make myself look like I haven't been hiding under the covers.
It's a little tough, but you make it. Yeah. Luckily, you have the bags under the eyes that make it look like you haven't slept for weeks anyway.
And I head out of the room.
Zarzul, they all made plans and sort of left you there. What are you doing?
I'm gonna go visit one of the workhouses, I think it was,
Yeah.
and see about if I can run into. There's all Renenblock.
Renabok,
Yeah.
yep.
Yep, the kobold boss.
Mhm.
Have a chat to him.
Alrighty, you've got your tokens. So you can place yourselves where you're looking to go on the map together.
I don't have control over mine.
You don't? Huh. How about you guys?
I think I don't have mine.
Don't have control of mine.
Weird, I dragged them off the sheet. Okay.
No, I don't have control of
I
mine.
can see them up at the top of the map. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, now I can.
Yeah, it's an easy fix. I'm just going through this now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember what each of the places were. Same with bad memory.
Who was I even clicking
Now you
on
can
there?
make our tokens a little smaller.
There's not a whole lot of need. It's just, an idea of where you are in the city, that's all. Just in case something happens, And there we go. You've all got control. Let's see. Can I even shrink these down? No, it's an awkward option. I guess actually right click. Okay, yeah. Alrighty, so you're all heading off. Who wants to do their scene first?
I think 11 was the workhouse. I'm trying to remember.
It was, yeah. And also, as you enter the district, you cross a square. You do, in fact, see what Rain was talking about. This whole area here, there's great wooden structures around it. Barricades. There are men in gleaming armor. Possibly women as well, it's hard to tell. The armor's pretty unisex. They are patrolling back and forth. There are a nervous-looking town guard also stepping around. And then you look at the kobold workhouse and think, that one looks like it should be behind a wall. It's got the look of a frat house. One that would star in a comedy film. You see rocks through the windows, which are mostly boarded up.
I suspect I know what's gone on. Okay.
So you walk up to it?
Yes, I walk up to it and knock on the door.
Yep,
It's not
you, you see a whole pile of kobolds just milling around, chatting. Some of them giving you odd looks because they see a kobold, but they also don't see a face.
I'll be right back.
Yep. The door opens up on your knocking, just the ease of it. And you look inside and you can see that it's been partially converted into a cave. It's still a wooden building, but there are mounds of rocks, of gravel, of stone, of dirt. Some of it's been smoothed out and laid in. Some of it looks like it's been mined just haphazardly. But they've filled this place, so what should be a door for a full-size person, you can see 2 branching paths for someone your size to scrabble through.
Yep, and I expect the tunnels go well below this building.
Well, the one you go to actually just leads into the living room, which is a bit more open plan. Again, still though, it's got a lot of mud-packed stone and all that there sort of thing, and just a whole gaggle of kobolds lazing around. A few of them look like they were with you that night.
Hello, friend!
Oh, hello, friend, loud friend, hello.
How are you doing this morning?
I feel like I'm dying.
No, you look perfectly fine. I know what dying isn't. But what you're going through is a lot better.
It doesn't feel like it's someone just drop a rock on my head. The rest of them seem slightly better condition, but they're less vocal about it. Mainly because they're holding their ears on both of you guys talking. Well, the sides of their heads. Welcome to the Dingley Den.
Yes, interesting experience last night.
I have not gotten that drunk before. I don't want to do it again.
So, tonight?
No, not tonight. I'm going underground. I'm staying there. Until you leave. Or I die. Or the sun falls. I don't care. I'm just gonna stay underground for a long, long time. He slowly rolls his head over on the stone he's at and just starts licking at a small cup of water. He's just a hypochondriac. Don't worry about him.
Somebody seems to have shaved one of my travelling companions last night.
Well, yeah, I suppose that's a question. Did you bring Wolfgang inside?
I'm assuming so at this point, yes.
The room erupts with laughter as they see Wolfgang scrabble out half a dog. Well, 3/4 of one, maybe. The laughter continues.
That's not very nice, friends.
He looks hilarious.
He'll get better.
Oh, you're gonna do the other side as well?
No.
I didn't do it. Nor me, not me, not me either. No, not me.
Any idea who might have?
No? And it just echoes.
Okay. Also, I seem to be missing one of my possessions that I actually care about.
So you're calling us a thief?
No, not at all.
You come into our den and announce that we stole from you? You came here to
sure,
accuse
leave
us?
No? Anyone have any idea where I put it down? I'm missing a dagger.
What does it look like?
Small, pointy and sharp. And slightly glistening with green.
Glistening with green. No. I think I saw something like it this morning.
Okay. Oh well, I'll just have to go get another one at some...
Oh yeah, I mean, knives are easy to get.
Be careful of it. And make sure... Just, if you do see it, just make sure not to touch it. It's very sharp and very, nasty.
We will. Who are you?
I am Zazzle!
So
I
it's
think I
easy
got
to
taken
spot him.
from
He's the one
Count's
who wears a
last
hood
night.
all the time. He didn't take it off when we were drinking either.
Yes, it's gotten into a habit.
Fancy a smoke?
Oh yes, I seem to be out at the moment.
Oh, never mind. And one of the kobolds just walks out of a room.
No longer of any interest. Hiccup.
Let's jump to Castalia and Siegfried right now. So you guys are heading into the craftsman quarters, yeah?
Mm,
Well, you were looking for a
Sure.
shield.
yeah.
Yeah, that's where
Well, I
most
mean,
of us...
I'd want to see if Siegfried would mind going there first before heading out to the mansion.
Sure, no problem. I want to get some clothes anyway.
All right.
It is quite literally night and day from when Rain was there. It is very busy. There's a lot of foot traffic of people carrying various kind of boxes stuffed with all manner of things back and forth. A good deal of them is fish. There is the odor of longshoremen who have finally come back. You also see in the town square is a bustling stall market. Lots of little one-day prop-ups. And there's all manner of yelling and calling out as they're just trying to hawk their wares. As you walk through the streets, you do see there's the usual sort of things: a seamstress, a tailor, a couple of general supply stores. There's this very old, predatory-looking old man, sharpened like an eagle, and he's just cheering in some kids who are walking into his store and buying a few of his weird toy things. Seems very friendly.
Hmm. Well, I suppose while Siegfried goes to the tailor, I'll try the toy store, thinking it's the Buggle Clump.
Oh, hello there, unusual lady.
Greetings.
Are you allowed to walk around dressed like that in the day?
I look down at the outfit and back to him and say, I have not yet been stopped, so I guess, yes.
Yeah, I suppose no one will want to interfere with that motion. Yes, what can I do for you?
Are you one of the Thug Clumps?
Oh, them. Nah, you want to be looking down, further away from innocent folk. Where not many people are going to get in the way of whatever they're doing. It basically gives you a description of they're down here by 22.
But who are you? What do you sell?
Me? I just sell anything. General goods. Sometimes specifics. Usually general. Had a run on some toys and stuff from a haulage earlier.
Toys?
But I can get you traveling supplies. I can get you a good set of clothes. So you don't look like one of them dance hall girls finally escaped.
Actually, a friend of mine was in the market for some clothes.
Is he? Well, tell him his gold is welcome here. Also his silver and copper. And anything interesting he wants to trade.
Did Siegfried come and follow?
Depends, did you click your fingers and tell him? I don't know, I think...
thought, come along, because, we're in the marketplace.
I don't know, you're actually at one of the stores here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have wandered in with them.
Oh, is this the friend?
Yes, this is the Siegfried.
Sir, your gold is very welcome here. Please bring it over.
We'll see if you've got stuff to trade for it.
Of course. What are you looking for?
Full set of clothes, heavy duty workers type thing.
A good worker's outfit. Yeah, I got a few sets in from another week ago. Business is just going out here. Not me, though. Store's still going strong, and I'm reaping the benefits. What sort of working clothes? I got fishermen. I got one of the construction crew here on the walls. Is there anything in
Construction
specific
crew
you're looking for?
probably work. construction crew one will work fine.
Oh well, here you go. You see him carrying the fisherman and the builder's attire, and they basically look the same except the fisherman one is slightly shinier from a wax treatment, and it's just a very thick, very coarse-looking sort of hempen shirt, and then some leatherette patches, along with the trousers. Of course, there's just a lot of patches of leather stitched onto it messily. Doesn't look entirely professional, but then it's for the plebs who just carry stones around.
Yep. And how much is that?
Oh, I'll set you back about 5 gold.
Try to remember if that actually is worthwhile or not. God damn it! I have to actually look up the bloody sheet.
No, you've no idea what this would cost. Use your judgment.
That would seem high to me.
You think so? Are you a businessman? I think 5 gold is a very fair price here.
I was seeing clothes common as 5 silver. I think that's a bit on the high side.
Aye, well that's just street clothes. These are working men's clothes. These are keeping you safe. Special reinforcement here. You know, that's good seal leather, that is.
Okay, 3 gold.
3 gold. Yeah, alright. 3 gold it is.
Oh, I hand over 3 gold then.
He slides it coin by coin into his other hand. There we go. Anything else for yous?
No, that's fine for me.
Well, don't go stand at the counter, Sonny. This is for actual customers. How about you? The lady shaking what she's got.
No, thank you. But thank you very much for the information.
No worries then. Have a good day. Come back soon. I'm always getting new stock.
You have a good day as well. Which I head outside. And now I have to debate.
Siegfried, are you staying alert?
Yep.
Roll me perception. As the two of you walk a little closer to the open market.
Ooh.
There is something very familiar among the mingle of voices. Where's for sale? Where's for coin? Unusual, weird, twisted secrets from under mountain. Incredibly ridiculous, great magical from the drow. All amazing products right here. From one of the
Okay.
stalls.
I think I know who that is.
It's the one with the talking rock. We don't want to be near.
So what do you do with this piece of information, Siegfried?
Steer clear of it.
Do you inform Castalia about it?
Only if she's going to head in that general direction.
Well, if he's shouting and it does sound interesting, I'd likely turn towards it.
Don't go that way. That's a silly man.
Silly in what sense?
You remember the rock?
The rock?
It does not sound like Ribaldi.
Oh, a different one, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
A much more recent memory.
Yep.
I have for you my finest potions, very powerful, very mysterious. I traveled great lands far and wide to find these.
Oh. I think I know this guy. It's the Kobold, isn't it?
All you guys are doing is listening.
May we go the other direction, please?
Well, we still have to see if it is.
Oh, then again, he might be selling stolen goods for all we know.
Maybe he took back his knife.
That is true.
She says to a voice in her head.
And maybe he
Oh,
needed
those-
Wolf here for a potion.
Wait, did they actually tell that they harassed the Kobold?
I mean, you were there. You saw them do it.
Oh, true.
As they tried to stuff him back in his wagon for some reason, just to see if he's such a great and powerful wizard. Of course he can get out on his own again. So let's just grab him and stick him in the wagon again and lock the door.
I look to Siegfried and then look at the crossroads heading down to where I was directed to the Ugly Clumps and say, I don't think he'll recognize me, so... No, wait, he'll definitely recognize me.
You're very noticeable.
Yeah.
There's more than a few whistles now and again.
Yeah, let's save that discovery for later. Last thing we need is to cause a commotion.
Alright.
Bigger commotion, but yeah.
Cornelius and Rain.
Yeah.
Where are you guys? What are you up to currently?
Well, what is the first good potential house?
Well, I mean, are you trying to buy around the west, or are you heading to the east? Like, are you just going to check around the district you're currently in, or do you want to go for where it's been noticeably cheaper because there's a potential orc army that might just roll up on you one night? Stuff like that brings the value down.
I mean, doesn't sound like a bad idea.
I know. You're closer to the experience.
Well, security would probably also be higher. And if something
would
happens, we
hope.
can. And if something happens, we can actually be heroic.
You hope.
By just having to, you know, do something to save our own skin.
Yeah, it's the easiest way to be a hero is to be forced into the situation. It's up to you guys.
Yeah. Well, Rain. She has the mic muted, I can see. Oh,
Yes,
there we go.
I was muted. I had to go deal with something. But my suggestion would be, yeah, if we try the west side, if there's nothing we like, then we can come on back. You wanted a hat though, didn't you, and a change of clothes?
Well, it's not the most necessary at the moment. I'll just go hatless as it is.
Oh, fair enough. I just was thinking we definitely want to make sure that we look more middle-class merchant than random roving adventurer.
True. There might be a need for a change in wardrobe before we approach the purchase of the house.
Quite. We want
Although-
to seem somewhat competent and preferably money savvy.
Well, we don't want to look like we have too much money.
No, we want to look money savvy.
And at the point, Cornelius realizes it means he has to walk with even more common clothes.
I was aiming for middle-class merchant look.
Yeah,
Example.
common clothes.
At that point, she changes her dress into a very nice, average, run-of-the-road kind of middle-class outfit.
Yeah, an Oktoberfest outfit. Okay.
No, blues and greens with a gold trim.
Yeah, just a simple dress, simple frock. No extenuating details.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's not fancy.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we kind of. I guess we also stop at the merchant market on the way.
Oh, and Rain would also. Oops, I don't want to be on top of Cornelius. And Rain would also use the mirror to get done up to look relatively nice.
Alright, you guys hit up the market.
Yeah, it's on the way anyway.
Yep.
Just to get us some average clothes.
Oh yeah, it's easy enough. It's a couple of silver. About... If it's like... Are you just buying for yourself?
Yeah, because Rain basically.
And I would want some shoes.
Alright, altogether it's easy enough. You get a simple, simple jerkin, a nice simple cotton shirt. Trousers that have been stitched together properly. Some new boots that are just very plain leather. But, comfortable on the inside, a bit of sheep's wool and all in the padding.
Cornelius' skin itches. It is the most cautious thing he's ever worn.
I'd rather be digested by a monster. So yeah, you're at about 4 silver. And 1 for Rain, for new shoes. They're just nice, simple flats.
Perfect.
Yeah. You both look very common. Not common as muck, but common enough.
I guess we move on to the West District, I'm guessing around here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And as you get there, it is nowhere near the traffic of the previous districts you were in. There is not a lot of people here. You're seeing maybe about 5 or 10 people where you were seeing tens. You were seeing near 100 on the streets. The air here just seems a lot heavier. And there's a lot of echoes too, even though it's still a busy enough place. There's still people going around, but it just feels in this area among these walls it is hollow.
It'll be quiet.
And you're seeing a fair few number of the guards as well. Also, a lot of the buildings boarded up. Some of them have their doors ripped off and just look to be empty.
Only issue I see here is it's going to be a lot easier for somebody to watch our comings and goings.
And the few stores and taverns that are still open, there are guards posted out in front of them. Well, mercenaries possibly. They might have had uniforms.
I suppose we should probably hit up a tavern and ask to see if they know any place for rent or for sale.
Yeah. Sounds like a good idea.
Alright, the nearest one to you would be the Cooper's Companion.
Guessing this one.
Yep. It's a nice place, and it's got a lot of military traffic in it right now. But there are still a few people who look like these are people who just live in Raxis. And, you basically ask the bar, any landowners, any...
Yeah,
we
probably
go.
the barkeep.
Yeah. Have you heard anything about anyone who's currently wanting to get rid of their property?
Not anyone personally, as this dwarf just scrapes down what looks like a beard that was bitten off. There were just tufts sticking around his chin. If you want anything along the main street, that's Jeffrey's over there, and he squints an eye and and points a finger over to this rotund halfling man. Berenice, she's the one who's more sort of more southernly, near the coast bit. And he directs it to a half-elven woman. You can tell because she has completely shaved her head, and you can see the slightly pointed ears. Both are a little fancier dressed than you two, but also they've eaten a lot more meals. Those are the big sort of movers and shakers in the land, as opposed to just You want to knock up on someone's door, that's about the best option. Not many people here would come lamenting about their house, or all they just fucking leave.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're gonna order something, right?
Sure. I give him 5 silver to buy something for.
Perfect, perfect. And you get 2 bottles of wine for it. They're both unlabeled.
I just hand them over to Rain.
And I put them in my dress pocket.
You're looking like you're trying to sneak into the cinema.
Well, that's our choices.
My suggestion would be to try to stay on the main street if we're here. After all, there's more traffic.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't see any reason for why staying near the coast. It's only good potential for a surprise water raid.
Well, you get a
Not to
nice
mention-
breeze. No, it's the barman actually saying that behind you too.
Oh yeah, I figured. The breeze would be nice, but
Could do a bit of fishing too.
true. But it's not like it's a very long walk away from the coast.
I mean, the walk seems longer in the morning.
Oh, everything seems longer in the morning.
If only that were true, I wouldn't have the problems with the missus.
Ah. I shake my head and I look at Cornelius. I don't know. I think I'd rather the hustle and bustle.
Agreed. I just kind of
Oh,
point
you're-
towards the halfling then.
So your fancy man's a bit more of a skilled one, is he?
Oh, I just shake my head.
Alright, so you head over to the halfling then.
Yeah.
He's about 3/4 of a way through a pig flank by the time you get there. His face is mostly glistening with grease. He just says, "Hello there."
Good morning, sir.
Oh, you're not bringing anything extra.
I'm afraid not. Although that do depend on where this conversation is going. We hear that you might be in the market for selling some property at the moment.
Ah, well, renting. I'm not selling. I'm fully convinced that the Knights are going to see off this threat, and then I've got me some lovely houses ready for some nice fat wads. But for now, they're a bit cheap.
Fair enough. Well, we were interested in one of these places.
Well, looking at the pair of you, I can safely say any of these houses are good for raising a family.
Not exactly for that. As I try to suppress a shudder.
Rain tries to keep a surprisingly neutral face and says, No, we're business partners, we're merchants.
Oh, that's the only worthwhile thing to be partner with anyway for money.
Exactly.
So, you thought about the kind of place you'd want then?
We'd like something on the main, in the main strip, the busier.
Well, yeah, that's
area.
why you're talking to me then, because I saw you talking to Sully, so obviously you're talking to me because you want the main street. That's what I own.
Yes, we need something. It doesn't necessarily have to be large. Just there's us, and then we've got a couple of our guard.
Right, you could just tell me the number of them, that'll probably help a bit. Like, are these proper full guards, or are you just going to shack them up in some inn on the other side, or do you just want to get them in a general room and a cot? Or you think these are actual proper people and we give them a bedroom?
It seems to be easier to deal with them if they have a proper room we've found.
I've got a few fancy places, you see, you could probably... Like, how many are there?
We are 5 in total.
So he's not counting the goblin.
I was about to say, and I look at him. Droop doesn't count, or is he Droop going to be with you?
He's not exactly going to take up our entire room, is he?
Yeah, fair
He'll be
enough.
inside Cornelius' pillowcase. A constant massage pillow.
You mean he's going to get the dresser?
Only
Well,
one drawer,
full-size
though.
walking-
Half a drawer.
A walk-in closet would probably be big enough as a room.
Let me think here. So 5 of you. I've got a couple of free rooms. I could do you a 2-room as well with a nice, like a main lounge. You got any aversion to stairs?
The stairs are fine.
Thinking back to last night. Thinking of it. I guess it will do.
Oh, that's how you get the most rooms anyway. Any sort of specialist rooms, anything like that there, or just happy to have a roof over your head?
But if there's some storage space in one of them, that would be preferable.
Any room you're not sleeping in is a storage room, mate. But yeah, I think yeah, 23 should be good for you lot. I mean, I'm not really through with my starter yet, as he sets down this whole flank of pig. But yeah, sure, let's get up here. As he gets up, gives you both a pat with his greasy hands. Follow me. Let's head to 23.
All right, thank
It's
you
all
very
right,
much.
Sally. I'll be back for that. Don't fucking touch it. He waddles his way out.
And as he walks out, I very subtly prestidigitation of the greased away.
It's this big paw print and a big smear as well.
And ditto on the prestidigitate.
And he directs you to this corner house here. It looks serviceable. The front has been a bit scuffed up, and there is, in fact, a bit of a roof missing. But it's okay. The burnt material has been mostly cleared away. Now, the 2 floors are perfectly fine and sealed. It's the attic, it's a bit bollocksed. But you've got 3 bedroom. You've got a big enough room for a tin bath or, just to laze around a bit. Full kitchen area in the bottom. It used to be a bit of a cafe thing. 4 doors. So you might want to get a couple of those sealed up. And, I mean, the hole's not bad whenever the stars are out. Just, don't do it if you hear drums. I'd be looking for about 50 gold a week.
I think we can manage that.
That's good to hear. Although I'm going to need 200 up front. I can fix the hole as well if you chuck in another 100.
You know what? That sounds fine.
Yeah, I agree.
As he starts licking one of his hands, finger by finger. Alright, let's shake on it.
It's a very hesitant grab of his hand.
It's very wet. It's warm. It's so squeezy. It's hard to get a good firm grip as he just clutches his chubby fingers in. He just gives you a firm shake. Excellent. Congratulations, you're now the owner of 23. You'll need a door, come to think of it. And here's your key. As he just chucks it out from his pocket. Big, heavy, dull ring of keys. There's about 12 of them on this one ring. There you go. Enjoy. I'll be round once every week to collect my rent.
Alright. See you later then.
And you stand in front of a house that you now lease.
Well, that was easier than expected.
Yes.
And we do have storage. I mean, the attic upstairs, assuming that it does get fixed, could also be used as a bedroom.
On general, just want to know we don't want anyone to have easy access to.
Mm-hmm. So we'll need to work on securing it a little bit more.
And then the rain starts.
That's gonna be a problem.
As you watch so much of it just go into that large hole in the roof.
We'll need to put up a tarp until you can fix it.
I just think about the whole tarp that was on the wagon, the whole ice tech.
Yep. What's great is you guys bought the place without even going inside.
Well, what's inside doesn't quite matter as much.
Is there anything inside? Like
Yeah.
any?
I mean, you guys remember
Oh,
what we bought in Warhammer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. But you wouldn't do that to us. You wouldn't have a demon-infested base.
No. A dragon, on the other hand,
Kobold
it's
infested.
it will be.
Tunnels is just a benefit. It means that we have an easy access down to figure out what the heck is going on.
Yep,
Underneath.
there's tunnels underneath, but they're only going to the east. And let me tell you, you don't want anything from this direction. Alright, we're actually getting near the end of the session, but let's jump back to Castalia and Siegfried. You're choosing to ignore the market, yes?
Yes, because that would offer issues that we don't quite need right now.
And you're
Stuff
heading-
that we will have to solve, but later.
What an attitude for a party. And so you're intending to head to the Fuggle Clumps at 22.
I feel like we have a lot of stuff on the back burner plates.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, at least in that direction to try and avoid the rest of the market.
How about you, Zarzul? What are you up to?
I think I'll head off to the market.
Why would you ever feel like you want to go to the market? That's no place for a kobold.
Actually, no, I need to head back to the inn. Never mind. I need to go and get some gold because I'm broke.
I mean, if you're going to set out for the day with the intention of resupplying, you would have probably pocketed a bit of gold.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go and see a weapons shop and see if I can get my hands on a new 20.
I'll give you a chance for perception.
Okay.
You know that voice. That voice declaring that his goods are of the finest under-mountain magic, the greatest mysteries of the ancient sand-rinsed land of Jurat, and also these lovely shoes and this scarf.
It's the sound of an old friend.
And he hears back, "Hello, friend."
Shit! And that's where we end our session for tonight. Because you remember the last time you heard that voice. It was screaming out, "I'll get you for this, Zarzul, get it?"
Yep.
Oh boy.
Next time, still many more prospects. Still the show. I thought we'd actually get to it, but we actually had a nice, simple RP session.
Yep.
A little bit of bonding, in fact. You guys really got to see what was deep inside of Zarzul.
Unfortunately.
He's working on acid breath.
Yep. So, next week, any issues?
Nope.
Any absences?
Don't
Okay.
believe so.
Next time, Zarzul might have to crash a market. I'm sure that'll go perfectly well with the town guard.
I'm gonna be perfectly friendly.
But yes, we'll be back next week with another episode of Rescue at Raxis.